Greetings, my name is Tegar Andito. I'm from Institut Seni Indonesia Yogyakarta. I want to present my paper about interactive media for cultural continuity, reimagining, reimagining Panji culture through branching narrative video game. There are some opinions note that there are decline in awareness and engagement of Indonesian folktales and classical literature among younger Indonesian audience. And Panji tales, despite rich and cultural heritage, also falls into this kind of decline. I found out that digital platform, including video game, is beneficial to deliver folk tales such as Panji tales to younger audience. And also found out that branching storyline in video game can increase replayability value of the game. So my idea is to create a branching narrative structure from multiple stories of Panji tales to be integrated into interactive nature of role-playing video games. Before I continue about how I make a branching narrative, I want to tell about what is Panji tales. Panji tales as a whole is a genre of classical Japanese stories. The main character always usually centered around Prince Panji or Prince Indokertapati as male protagonist and Princess Chandra Kirana or Dewi Sekartaji as female protagonists. They usually supported by loyal servant, but some stories also tell that they go adventure alone. The core theme of the stories usually around love and loyalty, commitment and devotion, also teaching about cultural values, about local Japanese wisdom and ethics, and the narrative structure usually about encounter between two characters and their separation and search between each other. They search each other after they're separated, and always end in reunion. And why I plan to implement the narrative into role-playing game? Because role-playing games can be learning tools to promote value internalization, and role-playing games act as medium for value education, revitalizing traditional stories, and also good medium for branching storyline of video games. And why the narrative in video games important? The narrative provide engagement, motivation, and emotional connection between characters and players when they play games. And there are some debate on narrative importance. Some experts see story as secondary. They see the story of the video game is supposed to be exist, but not that important. Other view games as powerful storytelling media that stated that video game can be good storytelling device. But there are some research that show that the narrative can improve player motivation and enhance performance when they play games compared to the games that has no stories, and also creates memorable experience for the players. My research methods is descriptive qualitative methods with comparative approach. First, what I did was map the plots of some popular Panji tale stories, record the plots into several key plots, and put them in the table, and highlight them, highlighting their similarities. Then I analyzed the key plots to find possible divergence and convergence point for branching narrative. Then I assembled them into a branching narrative. There are 7 stories I use for this research. There are Anjani Lumut, Keong Mas, Kete Okleng, Panji Semirang, Timun Mas, Walang Sumirang, and Sun Andit. Okay, this is what I did. First, I select popular Panji tales. 7 of them I already said before. Then I break them down to find similar key plots, comparing the similarities and difference between stories, then assemble them into branching narrative. And the branching narrative is ready to be implemented into video game. This is what I found. The result, I found there are 10 of the key plots that shared among stories. Some key plots only shared between 2 stories, but some also shared among 4 stories, like this and this. And then I assembled them into branching narrative, like this. It starts with Aurelia Kencana story. Actually, Aurelia Kencana story is exists only at Keong Mas and Panji Kuda Semirang, but it can be added as a prologue for the other stories. And the player choice located in here. There are 9 nodes that can be divergent point between choice, and it has 5 possible endings. It has 5 possible endings. Although I take 7 stories, but I found that Keong Mas and Andit have similar endings, and Timun Mas and Ketek Okleng stories have also similar endings. So instead of 7 endings from 7 stories, it has 5 endings. And now we come into discussion. The game uses tree structure where key plots serve as decision nodes, like this. The key plots of Chandrakirana goes where Chandrakirana goes led to different paths. If Chandrakirana goes Kalang Mulusan, it go to Anjani story. If she not going to Karang Mulusan at other place, it continues into Keong Mas stories. And the branching paths lead to 5 distinct endings, not 7. Although I have 7 stories, but it has only 5 endings. And the Aurelia Kencana scene, although originally only exists in Keong Mas and Panji Semirang, it can be used as starting point for another stories because it can be used as a prologue for another stories. Not only Keong Mas and Panji Semirang, but also other stories. And the player decision based on Japanese moral values and dilemmas regarding ethics, love, and loyalty. For example, the Chandrakirana in this situation, Chandrakirana Prince Indokratapati has taken by Galuh Ajeng, but it is kind of Kirana's decision to take him to her or leave it. If she leave Inukartapati to Galuh Ajeng, it continues to Kyongma's story. But if she can succeed to take Inukartapati, it goes back to Andiani's story. And what I achieved in this research, there are some achievements in this research. Contrary to the view of story is secondary games, this project treats the video game as a storytelling device where the narrative is the core content. The moral dilemmas not only just flavor text, not only just aesthetic elements of the games, but also part of mechanic of the games, where the player take decision based on ethics and moral dilemmas. Although the narrative is complete, but the game itself is still under development, so I cannot show the game itself. Because of that, there are some new problems here. The branching structure, that if the branching structures actually increase the replayability, a complete prototype must be completed, so it can be tested if this theory is correct or not. As the conclusion, shared chiplots allow the multiple linear Panji tales to be merged into single interconnected branching narrative, and the narrative here want to put story not as an aesthetic, but primary engine of gameplay and progression. And the player choice utilize moral and loyalty dilemmas to drive player choice, deepening emotional engagement and empathy, and it uses the RPG format as a modern medium to preserve and deliver Japanese cultural heritage to younger generation. But because the narrative only the narrative has completed, it required the game to be completed, so it can to measure actual real playability, the game itself it need to be completed. That's all of my presentation. Thank you for listening. See you later. Thank you.